We seem to do a lot of fat people and old people, and every once in a while we do fat old people. Cool. I'm gonna get a tape measure and we'll get some measurements. I'll be right back.
All right.
Now I'm the man. I'm so bad I should be in detention.
Today we are at Alterian Effects, and I'm here with Tony Gardner. Nice to meet you.
How's it going? When I was in college, I met Rick Baker, and he hired me for a 4-week job as a runner on Michael Jackson's Thriller. And it turned into me being more involved and being in it. Yeah, no, my arm falls off, and you know, it was really fun. And at 19, it's like, this is it. This is what I want to do.
Yeah, Return of the Living Dead is 1985, so that had to be right at kind of the beginning of your career.
There's another company doing it. Well, that company folded. I got a phone call, and they said, hey, you want to come talk to Dan O'Bannon about the Half Corpse? That's a dead body I was building as a Halloween display for my house at the time. I was asked to do some small effects in the blob, and someone else was going to do the majority of the effects. 3 days after they hired me to do this lesser package of things, they're like, hey, this other guy's gone now. Can we give you the whole show? Mm-hmm. And I was 24. That was where I went, hey, this can be fun, and you can be in charge of other people and not have it be a chore, but have a good time.
So you've worked on a lot of movies that have just become major cult movies like Darkman, Army of Darkness.
We did anything that dealt with Evil Ash, Evil Sheila. I think I'm really attracted to the odd stories and the fun stuff, and things like Army of Darkness and Darkman and Freak. Part of the fun of it, though, is trying to think of new ways to do stuff and have somebody pay you to do it. It's this is great.
You work on like a lot of intense dramas, you work on horror, gore, all that kind of stuff, and then you do a lot of comedy stuff. You work with the Farrelly brothers quite a bit.
My first film with them was Something About Mary. I'm catching myself at home, closing the doors because I had little kids and going, okay, so the sperm on the ear, is it white or clear? And the old lady's boobs, do the nipples point down? I mean, it was like literally the most absurd conversations, but they were all visual things I needed an answer to. We've done a lot of fat suits, but the first major one was Shallow Hal for me.
It seems like to make someone who's not fat look fat and have it actually look natural seems like it's really difficult.
Someone with really thin features, it's not going to be as realistic or successful makeup. It's a little more stylized. But somebody that has distinguished features, like you, we can take advantage of those and anchor off of that and make it work.
You're trying to say I have a big nose?
Well, you can thicken up everywhere. So the goal is to thicken it up where it'll still move as a prosthetic on you. And if we cast all this in silicone, it ends up just being a big dead weight. The goal is to make it as realistic as possible, and the easiest way to control how to apply it once you get the mass figured out. And again, sometimes that involves changing the neckline and the shape of your shoulders to shorten your neck. The trick is really to break this sculpture down into individual pieces that are easier to manage putting on you. It's the little things like that that really throw your eye off. You might not be able to say, this is wrong and this is wrong specifically, but it won't look right.
Action. Now I'm the man.
What was it like for you to inherit such an iconic character?
It was a challenge because when we did Seed of Chucky, Tiffany and Chucky had been designed by David Kirshner and Kevin Yeager, and we started with literally nothing other than a few photos. Multiple versions of Chucky, Tiffany, and their kid Glenn, who we had to be designing while we were manufacturing all this stuff. It was daunting because besides the skin and the staples and the color of the eye and everything else, we had to match the weave of the corduroy and the blue and the silk screening of the patterns and the printing on the shoelaces and actually sculpting shoes. I mean, there were so many layers to these characters beyond what we normally do. It was an eye-opening experience for us. What it takes to build a whole character. Every movement is a choreographed something, and every group of puppeteers on each character has to be in sync. It's tricky because like in something like that where they're making eye contact and it's specific. I mean, you want to have a head move and an eye move. Which one leads? You need to do a blink in there because you're changing focus. When you start thinking about all these things that are just part of human interaction, you're trying to put all that into a puppet.
I mean, just to do the little thing we did today was 7 people, right? Just
Yeah,
to make
and
that
every
happen.
time you add an action, like we want to see this, and a lot of times each one of those pieces is a separate person doing something.
Right.
Like we had one person just doing the knife, getting that out of the way so 2 other people could put the hands up. One guy was only doing the wrist on one hand. It's just like there's so many layers of stuff that has to be figured out.
And then you got, the guys controlling with the remotes, and then something could go wrong, like the eyes stop moving right, and
Yeah.
that holds everything up. And
Yeah, and if the head guy moves wrong and the eyes are still over here, it's a reset and you have to reshoot.
Is it worth it in the end?
When you've got something that's living and breathing in actual space, that's the thrill. I mean, you're taking something inanimate and making it not just a believable something, but you've given it a personality and life. And a lot of that comes from Brad Dourif too. I mean, we'll focus on the dialogue first, and then we'll focus on his body language and try and put him into the puppet. Even with the design of the eyes and things like that, you're trying to layer in a person into it so that it's got more of a solid base to it. And then you're dealing with his daughter, Fiona, in Curse of Chucky, and she's looking at the puppet for the first time going, oh my God, it has my father's eyes. Followed a split second later by, oh my God, it has my eyes. And,
Right.
realizing that there's this interesting chemistry going on between this actress and this inanimate object. It's like 127 hours. More than half of making that believable is you investing in James Franco, and that he believes this is his arm.
It was weird walking in here today and seeing so many Chucky parts and figures,
Yeah.
and it not getting up and just starting to talk to me. It was strange.
If we do our job right, then that's normally the response.
Hey, Scott, since you're here, can I get you to listen to my demo?
Yes, that was Brad Dourif's voice. Click here to subscribe to Nerdist. It's free, you cheap fucks. Click here for last week's episode with our look at the El Cucuy maze with Universal's Halloween Horror Nights, and say hello to Danny Trejo for me. Next Thursday, I'll be hanging with Vincent Guastini, and we're gonna fire it up with a throwback to some 80s splatter effects. New episodes of Blood and Guts every Thursday in October, only on the Nerdist channel.